Being dominant versus dominating. What is the difference? I see a lot of examples of people thinking that they are dominant and others agreeing with them. And when in actuality, what's happening is they are dominating others. And there's a very big difference between the two of these ways of being. If you can imagine or think about dominating, feeling the need or the desire to dominate a situation, others, you can see that it's all in the world of control. So, and where does control, the need to control someone else, a situation, an event, whatever it is, you can see that that comes from lack. It comes from an insecurity. And so dominating others or situations really comes from being insecure about something. And remember that these things are very deep seated. And this is probably very difficult for some to hear because the ego can be quite strong in certain areas. Being dominant actually comes from allowing, comes from feeling so full and abundant and pure love that there's no need to control. There's nothing but allowing. And yes, sometimes when a situation happens where someone needs to be put back in line. Let's say sometimes there is a need, a dominant person. Sometimes there is a need for them to step in and course correct others. And that is extremely rare. I will say most of the time it's just allowing. Think of a pride of a pack of lions, the dominant male in the pride with his pride. What is that? What is that lion doing? It's not the one running around roaring at everyone else, controlling everyone. Typically, the dominant male lion in a pack of lions is the one laying underneath the bush in the shade, putting his energy, his powerful, strong, grounded energy into the field, and everyone else, all the other lions, feel safe and cared for and loved in his presence. Being dominant is very much a grounded, energetic place to come from, whereas dominating, I see so many examples of areas of life where someone thinks that they are dominant, but what they're really doing is dominating, and it's coming from that insecurity. I see it in love, romance relationships. I see it in business. I see it in friendships. It's everywhere. It's insidious. And I understand we all have our own truth, and it comes down to doing the work to unfold or uncover deeper and deeper levels of dominance, authentic, grounded dominance instead of dominating. And it's completely tied to how much love that you have for yourself. How much love you have for yourself causes less and less need to control, and you fall deeper and deeper into a state of observation all the time and choosing, observing what and who and how is in your field and choosing what resonates and what you want to spend your energy on or with. An example I'll use in a romantic relationship of dominating. I see a lot of couples, and typically this is the man in a relationship is typically the one dominating, but it's not all the time. Sometimes the female dominates as well. But it can look like any number of different ways. But if there's one person being more influential in what a couple does throughout the day with friends, allowing their partner to spend time with their friends, go on trips without them. I mean, there's so many examples of how one person tries to take control of their significant other. And you can see how that's dominating them. It's not dominant. It's the complete opposite of being dominant. If that man in the relationship was actually authentically dominant, he would be so grounded and unwavering in who he is and so sure of himself that he knows his woman or his significant other would never do anything to cause him to distrust. And in the event that she does or he does, there's no reason to react. Again, it's just a complete connectedness to knowing your authentic, grounded self and pure love, observing what's in your field and choosing if it resonates to spend your energy with that other or not. Another example in business, dominant versus dominating. In business, it's riddled with others, people dominating others. And this is why I spend so much time with business leaders, because dominating others is never the answer. That's the dominating others is connected to the grind of producing results. And yeah, this can work. The grinding out hours and calls and, to produce results and sales. Yeah, it can cause some incredible financial abundance. And what's going to, what's it going to cost? It's going to cost relationships. It's going to cost trust. It's going to cost, time with family and, spending time doing things that are more meaningful and that you actually care about more than making money. At the end of the day, making money is great and it's amazing to have a lot of money in the bank. And it is, in terms of fulfillment, it is not at all fulfilling. It is safety, it's fun, it's attractive. It's not very often or maybe ever fulfilling. When I say fulfilling, being fulfilled in the heart space, I always use the term when I can spend one-on-one time with somebody and help them cause a breakthrough for themselves and experience so that they experience themselves as something greater than they have before. There is nothing more fulfilling to me than being a part of that, someone else's journey. And I used to have it that before this journey started for me 15 years ago, I used to have it that the amount of money I had in the bank was completely equivalent to how successful I was and how happy I was going to be and how fulfilled I am. And wow, I got a massive wake up call early on in my journey, thankfully, because after this initial kind of like aha that I had been living inside of this box called my reality, and I saw what caused me to be living in this box, which we all do, by the way. Once I saw the box I had been living within, it caused me to immediately start my own company. I left the big national commercial real estate brokerage firm I was at, started my own company, my own brokerage. I took the exam to become an employing broker in the state of Colorado and started to grow a team there. And I just took off from there. Me getting so clear on creating happiness for myself. And that was a big part of it. The result of that was a lot more money in the bank. It was not about going and causing more money for myself. It was completely about, holy shit, I have been victimizing myself from everything else in life, and I can actually go just create happiness for myself. What does that look like? Starting my own firm was a big part of it. And it was not about making money. The result of why I did it was a lot more money. And so back to dominant versus dominating. So let's talk more about dominant, being dominant. Where does that come from? What sort of energy is that? What does it look like? How do we attain this dominant grounded energy? I like to use the term becoming untriggerable, or even better, becoming unfuckable with. This actually exists and it's not pretend. I think some people have been able to attain this in an authentic way. Certainly me. And I know how to arrive there and help others get there as well. I think a lot of people are pretending that they are untriggerable or unfuckable with. And I see that that's not the case sometimes. And I'm hopeful that whatever journey they're on, as they continue to deepen their work within, they will get there as well. Being a dominant energy. So in my journey, as I've done nothing but look inward, done my internal work. And what does that mean? All that means is getting to know myself at deeper levels, like learning and uncovering, understanding what my subconscious beliefs are, and which then moves them to the conscious mind. I become aware of them and figuring out how they got created. All of them got created somehow. And I believe that 100% of the time it's tied to something that happened in our past. If we can figure out when these beliefs got created and then address the situation. Typically the When I say when a subconscious belief got created, there's a story associated with that. And addressing that story with the other characters that were involved in that story is the only authentic way for us to release it fully. The deeper and deeper levels of this journey we go on, the more grounded into ourselves we become. It's funny, side note, I use that term a lot. How grounded are you? How grounded do you feel? And I've heard several people in like the spiritual world, say, oh, there is no ground. We're floating in nothingness. Yes, that is true. And that's not what I'm talking about. Being grounded is an energy that is within yourself. Being grounded within yourself is a deepening and embodiment of operating from love, with integrity, being of service to everyone, including yourself. Connectedness, not just understanding, but embodiment and connectedness to that, the law of one, that we are all one soul, one source at the very top, because then it translates into, this is also going into like dominating versus dominance. If I embody and I know for sure, not just understand because I read it in a book or saw somebody say it on YouTube like me today, but if I embody that law of one, there is never a time where I'm going to feel the need or even desire to dominate someone else or to control someone, because I know that I'm just dominating or controlling myself. Another version of myself is a very different place to come from than understanding that concept and really not operating from that depth, which causes people to control, to manipulate, to, or at least have the chance to, or the desire to control others, to manipulate others, to seduce others, to try to get something out of them, and to take advantage of others. I see a lot of people actually that are spiritual. They are spiritual leaders, healers, a lot of well-known people online that are doing things, taking actions that are dominating instead of dominant. And I've actually interacted with, and it's just a reminder for me that this journey that I take people through, which is nothing but looking inward, understanding deeper and deeper levels of yourself, is the only authentic way to raise your vibration, become more authentic, deeper levels of authenticity, deeper levels of operating from the heart. I always say all of the answers are inside of you. None of the answers are outside of you. A lot of people are spending so much time and energy trying to meditate and connect with other beings in 6D, 7, 8, 9D. This, frankly, pieces of it can work, and it is not very authentic or effective or efficient use of time, because as the deeper I know myself, this is true for everyone, the deeper I know myself, the more I get connected to and embody the law of one. So the deeper I understand myself, the deeper I see and understand everyone else, because everyone else is a piece of me. And the farther out I can see and connect with, because as above, so below, as within, so without. You've all heard this. The entire universe exists inside of our body. If we can deepen our understanding and our knowledge about ourselves, the deeper and deeper we are going to be able to understand and see and connect with those things outside of ourselves. It's a complete, authentic increase in vibration. It's all tied to energetics. And this is the authentic way. And then as that vibration increases by doing this internal work, the meditation practices, the vision practices, manifestation practices, these things become so much more impactful and intentional. And even as you deepen the dominant, grounded, loving energy that you become through this journey, you start to become, your manifesting, your intention tends to stop being so much about you and results for your life. It tends to be for the entire collective. Every human on earth and every human that was and will become in the future, that is fulfilling. And as we impact one soul at a time, whether it be one-on-one or in a group program or millions of people watching a video like this is the journey from feeling the need to dominate to cause results for yourself and being dominant, which is pure love, beautiful, blissful, untouchable, grounded. Take that energy in. That's what it feels like. I love you all. Thank you.